That was what was supposed to happen. So I'm going to do a thing now that will be the last thing of the show. I'll take this out ahead of time, so I've learned my lesson. So, I think that I've crossed the line. Somewhere along the way, I let myself get away from myself. Now I just don't know what to do. I have started down a path that is obviously going to lead me to ruin, and patently a bad idea. I now derive more pleasure from disliking things than I do from liking things. I have a secret agreement with 30 people whom I do not know. And every so often we meet somewhere that has a big long line, like a bank or a supermarket or something like that. We all have a really miserable time together. It's a good social bonding experience because there's an object that we can all dislike together that isn't among us. We are united, and that makes us strong. A few days ago at the bank, we had our biggest turnout ever. When I walked in and saw the humongous line, I groaned in what the security guard probably thought was disgust, but was actually a sound of almost sexual anticipation. One of the things that attracts people to this particular bank is that it has coin counting machines. So I was there to count my coins. I walked over to where the coin counting machines were, and I noticed that the first one of them was broken. This was already off to a good start. I went around to the second coin counting machine and noticed that someone had taken it out of its fake black marble enclosure. There was a woman pressing buttons and moving bags and stuff. This was getting even better. There was a line leading up to it because it was broken. And the woman who was working on it was resolutely not looking back at the line. It was obvious that she had been berated before by customers. An old woman was trying to get her coins counted. She was also shouting nonsense words because she was waiting so long. She had a lot of coins, and the young man next in line asked her how she got so much change. "Beer and cigarettes," she laughed. "Beer and cigarettes." She had over $600 in coins. When the young man got up to the coin machine, it broke again, and it took 10 minutes to get the lady back out to work on it. She made a weak joke about sticking out there with us because it looked like the machine just didn't want to work that day. No one laughed, but we all felt a little jolt inside. When I got up to the coin machine, I took out my coin stein. It's a large and over-decorated beer stein that I got when I was in Germany with my uncle and I was drunk every day. I used to drink beer out of it, but now I keep coins in it. I don't want to drink out of it again because I'm afraid it might smell like coins, taste like coins. After I got my coins counted, I looked over at the big line and skipped over to it. Now this line was amazing. It started up near where the tellers were, and stretched all the way back to the front door, to the U-turn, and stretched all the way back to the tellers, actually ending closer to them than it started. So I got in. As I waited in the line, the manager came along offering things to the irate customers. He had things like tickets to a raffle, which I doubt existed, and free tote bags. Now, I didn't believe in the raffle, and I already have several tote bags. But I chose to take everything he had. And the line was tense, with anger, frustration, hatred, and joy. It was great. Standing in that line, shuffling my feet back and forth, staring at nothing for several minutes, grumbling with other people about how our meters were going to run out, even though I piped there. Yeah, it was horrible, and I loved it. When I left, I sang the whole way home. And when I finally got home, I masturbated several times on the subject. Next week, we're going to go to City Hall and fill out permits for large musical concerts in public parks that are never going to happen. It's going to be great. Now I know that you're thinking that sounds great. You would probably like to join our little club. And if that's so, that's good, because I brought along a little game that we can play, in which I'll explain to you how to dislike things. So I've written down on each one of these cards something that we can all dislike.
Okay, check it out.
That's right. You're going to check it out when I spend you the card. So, I guess the best way would be to just pass them back. I didn't know there would be this many people, so there aren't enough cards.
Amazing idea. Visual, it's like top secret.
Yeah, most of the stuff I do is top secret.
So, fancy jacket. I do a film for next year.
Yes, this is, thank you for noticing. This is my favorite. So, people in the back might not get a card.
Thanks, Will.
That's okay, because I don't want to walk back there anyway. So just hand them back behind you. So first I'll explain to you a good way to dislike something. What you do first is you pick an object, or a thing, or a person, or whatever. And then you make a biased judgment about it.
I mean a bias.
Yes.
Biology,
Yeah.
biologic.
Well, first you look up the phylum, and then the species, and then the class. And then you justify that biased judgment with an argument. And then you dislike it. So it'll all become clear once we start. So who would like to go first?
Don't slow down the car. Hey, curly head in the corner next to the
This guy wants to start. What would you like to read the thing that's on your card?
Could we all agree to dislike this guy?
Oh.
I don't know what you say, but that's great. Hey, why the card stuff there?
Cards? Why the cards? It'll all become clear, Omar, in the future.
Hey you, why are you touching me? Don't touch my jacket.
Hey, let's all calm down.
Hey, whatever they say, it wasn't late for my physical existence.
I'm only threatening your existential existence.
Hey, existence, to be or not to be, exist or the sun above your head, exist.
Night out, Omar.
Well, yes,